Good morning. Welcome to the Fun Side of Business podcast. I am one of your hosts, Nick Hampton.
And I'm your other host, Gemma Addison. So, Nick, who have we got today?
Today we have entrepreneur extraordinaire. She is known for, I'd say, influencer as well in her field.
Yes.
Today we are introducing Mel Neisler Dickinson.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes. Did I get the
You've
name
done
right
it
as well?
well. That is so good. It is a bit of a mouthful, isn't it?
There we go. We've got it right.
I thought that was going to change to his Mel.
Yeah, I thought, well, that was my backup. I had that just in case.
Oh,
Right,
no.
Mel, I don't know if you've heard the podcast before.
Yes.
Great. In which case, then, you're not going to be shocked when we're going to take you back to school days.
No.
So, are you local? Did you grow up local?
No, I actually grew up in America, believe it or not. Can you not
Really?
tell by the American accent?
Definitely is not one. We should also play that, Jem. We should play like guess the growing up from their accent.
Yeah, so my dad was an American serviceman at Bentwaters in the 60s.
Okay.
And my mum used to love to go out hitchhiking to the bases. She liked...
That's a whole other story, right?
Yeah, I probably won't go into too much.
My mum went from base to base to base. Yeah, okay, fine. Yeah.
That sounds a lot worse than it was. But basically, the Americans love to give her free stockings and chewing gum and stuff like that.
I'd like to give her, right, just come on quick. Don't leave too big a pause in that moment.
So just safely say she never dated an Englishman. So it was Americans.
Okay,
And she met my wonderful dad in Bentwaters. And they got married, and that's when I was obviously born in America, in Longmont, Colorado.
Colorado.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
That's Dog the Bounty Hunter territory, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
That's the only Colorado fact I know. If I'd have known this beforehand, I could have done some research, but we'll stick with Dog the Bounty Hunter. Okay, so how is Dog the Bounty? No, okay, we're going to go there. So did you grow up there or like when did you come back to the UK?
So because he was a serviceman, you move around every sort of 4 years. And I spent most of my life in America, but also at Lakenheath and Mildenhall. And eventually, unfortunately, they did separate. I came back to England when I was nearly 12 years old.
Okay.
So going straight into high school with this American twang.
Yeah.
I can remember my first day, actually. I put my hand up in front of the whole class and said, "Excuse me, ma'am, can I go to the bathroom?" And from that moment on, I was pretty much bullied throughout all high school.
So was it local? Did you end up in Ipswich or somewhere else?
I'm going to try and say this posh, Chantry High School.
Okay.
Or Chantry, as most people would
Chantry.
know from it.
Yeah.
And I used to go home and practice to speak like Chantrarians.
That would be difficult. I grew up. So even though it was, so I went to school the other side of Ipswich, but I grew up in Chantry.
Oh, so you were
See, I
was a Cobblestone.
Northgate, Cobblestone, near where I lived.
I was
the posher school.
So you hear that, Jem?
No.
What do you think? What do you think of Stoke? Hang on, whoa.
Stokey.
Yeah, what do you think of Stoke? She's just laughing.
Stoke High.
Yeah.
That's all right. I lived on Stoke.
Yeah,
so,
see, I did. Better than Cobblestone.
Yeah, I felt Stoke was, the next step up from Chantry.
Yeah, but not Cobblestone level. Yeah.
No.
Don't agree with
there
that.
There you go, Jem. No, we've got that one out there. Right, there's the Stoke versus Cobblestone battle done.
Anyway, we love Chantrarians and Stokearians.
To be fair,
I
actually love the area.
Yeah, I do.
I grew up there, and it was it's certainly a different place to live than people think it is.
It is. Do you know what? When I was young, I never thought anything of it. I had great friends around there. Everyone looked after everyone.
That's the thing. When people go, "Oh, you don't want to go in Chantry, it's so dangerous." It's like, no, it isn't.
No.
If you were
It's
in
a
there,
lovely
it was like probably East London back in the craze,
Yeah.
where everyone was looking after one another. Yeah, there was probably some bad things going on, but it was never on your own doorstep, was it?
Not at all. Not at all. Loved it.
Okay. Which is the best, top shops or bottom shops?
Oh,
that's a question.
Top shops.
Yeah, because you went to Chantry. Yeah, that's it. Okay, all right. So we've done top shops versus bottom shops.
Right.
Okay, so at school, which subjects were good? Which ones were bad?
Well, I was actually super intelligent when I first come over from America when they assessed me.
Okay.
And then gradually I ended up in a class for a little while called the Ponderosa, which was for people who were not learning very well.
Well, that took a quick turn.
But the problem was, it wasn't that I wasn't learning very well. It's just that we spelt things different in America. We said things different. So when I was trying to spell colour or aeroplane, I was getting all my, spelling tests wrong. So they then soon worked out that that was the reason why.
Yeah.
But I was quite good at English, terrible at spelling, but actually, coming up with the stories and literature and stuff, really good. Maths, I was quite
I think
good
it probably tells you more about the teachers at Chantry than it does about your ability.
It did,
and they're going, oh my God, she's not learning anything to do with spelling. She's hyper intelligent, but keeps spelling all these words wrong. Yeah.
And I think mainly it's because we had woodwork teachers teaching us maths and that in the 80s. It was all the strikes and everything.
It's like one between 4 classes.
I'll never forget at Stoke, we had a Scottish man teaching French and Spanish.
Oh, God.
And it was just like, this didn't make any sense.
At all, I know. So, I was pretty good at marquetry. He did teach, the woodwork teacher did teach that well, but maths itself, not so much.
Okay, so you came out of Chantry.
I did.
Were you at Chantry at the point where they had a sixth form?
Yes, but at the time I was not.
But it wasn't for you?
Not really. I wouldn't know if I'd say intelligent enough, but it wasn't, in the 80s, it wasn't a thing. Unless you were hyper intelligent or had great aspirations, sixth form.
It wasn't the natural progression in Chantry, was it?
No, definitely not. I just wanted to get out to work.
Yeah. I remember so when I went to Northgate sixth form, we saw someone there from Holywells, and that was like finding a unicorn.
Yes.
It was like someone from Holywells or Nacton has gone on to sixth form. This is nuts. And not only that, they're in Northgate as well. This is bizarre. But okay, so you left there, and so was it entrepreneurial aspirations or go out and get a job?
No, all I wanted to do was be a hairdresser.
Amazing.
That's all I wanted to do. That's what I was going to do. So I went to college.
Yeah.
Was not the best experience. Because then when I got a proper job in hairdressing, I realised how much I didn't actually know. And I was sort of in a hairdresser. It was called Andre Bernard's at the time. I don't know if anyone remembers that.
Sounds very glamorous.
Oh, yes, it was. We had to call everyone madam and things like that. It was very, very upmarket.
What happens when you're Nicely Dickinson?
Yes.
What happens?
Well, I was only a Nicely then.
Oh, okay. There's no Dickinson at that point.
So that was my dream. And I was a terrible hairdresser. Absolutely terrible. They sacked me in the end and told me to go do something that I was good at, which I wasn't sure what that was. But actually...
That must be soul crushing because even in hairdressers, they have the one who just sweep up and does the shampooing.
Yeah, you're not even good enough for that.
You're not doing that.
No,
it's time for you
I
to get
wasn't
something else
even
that you're good at.
So the final straw for them really was when I highlighted someone's hair, which we used to use a cap in those days.
Oh, is that when you pulled the
hair through?
Yeah.
The pain. Yeah. I pulled all of her hair through. I clipped the front up above her eyebrows, went for a coffee, came back. She took the clip out and I'd highlighted her eyebrows. They looked like zebra crossings. So at that point I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to get in so much trouble. So I quickly stirred up some brown dye to match her hair, put it on the eyebrows, but forgot that you have to put red pigment in. If not, they will go green. So then she had green eyebrows.
That's amazing.
So then I had to fess up. And call.
It's you've got this cool monochrome black and white look, which Mel's gone. No, I can one up this.
Let's just turn it
bright green.
Yeah. So they came and fixed it anyway. They had to put red dye on them first, so she had to sit there for half an hour with red dye on her eyebrows. Then the brown. Then they looked lovely. But then 3 months later, she came back again, and they said, "Mel's going to do your hair," but obviously she knows not to do that again. And I done it again.
No.
Yeah, I do. She moved the clips again. And they took me into an office and said, "I'm really sorry, but we don't think this is for you."
I feel like this is her fault, though, for moving the clip all the time.
Yeah, but, customers are always right.
I agree with the hairdressers. It's time to find something you're good at.
You're just not good at this, Mel.
It's not for you.
This is not your calling in life.
No. So I ended up...
How did she take it, by the way? Was she quite a nice customer?
The first time she was understanding, not so much the second. No. So that was the end of the dream.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so you're now, how old are you at this point?
So now I'm unemployed at 17.
Right. And your entire career plan that you've planned for the last 10 years
Dreams
has just gone up
shattered.
in smoke.
Yeah.
Okay. And we're all sitting here laughing at this. Can we just
It's
point
not
out
funny at that
how
age.
sadistic we are
Yeah,
right
it's
now?
awful.
Yeah. Yeah. She's
I can't
not
believe
even
I
18
could sit
yet.
here and not cry about it now.
Okay. Well, that's a good point. We've got tissues on the side in case you need them, Mel.
So my mum had plans for me that I could then go work on Ipswich Market.
Okay.
So I went and sold potatoes and Brussels sprouts
Amazing.
for about a month. Didn't feel that was quite for me.
I did it.
Did you?
I did it. Ipswich Market and the one at the showground as well.
But this is when Ipswich Market was at Civic Drive, and it was like a big market in those days. I can't remember the.
Admittedly, I think I did it at like 13. It wasn't the career path.
Yeah. But it was back then. It was not too bad. About £10 a day, I think I got. So it paid for me to go, out hit Ipswich town clubbing and pubbing which you could do on £10 a night back then.
You better do it in Liberties for nothing.
Yeah.
I worked behind the bar.
Oh, did you? I thought I recognised you.
He was behind the bar. Yeah, there's going to be some bad. We'll just leave that one there just in case.
Yeah, we'll leave that. I could tell many stories about that place, but there we go. So, and then I was offered a job via a friend to go work in Topshop.
Amazing.
And it transpired that was my vocation, retail, which I loved. And it was double the money I was getting on the market, or maybe even triple. I thought I was rich. I thought I'd really made it.
I mean, it literally is like, once you start having that, it's like probably buy a car in 6 months and have a house in 12.
Yeah,
and then you go, maybe not.
The car was only £150 then, the second-hand car. We didn't expect to have, BMWs and things on finance in those days. It was just as long as it sort of went.
What was the first car?
I had a Ford Cortina.
Amazing.
It was £150. I quite liked it, to be honest. And then I sold it to someone at Topshop. And then the next day he came in with grease up to his elbows. And I was like, what on earth's the matter? He said, the whole gear stick just fell out of the car. Like, what have you sold me? I said, well, it was fine when I gave it to you. It never fell out on me. So, yeah, he didn't speak to me for a couple of weeks. But I'd already spent the money.
Yeah, hashtag sold a scene. That sounds like a you problem now. Yeah, but hang on. I mean, that was the thing. It's like, buy a car for £100.
Yeah.
And then expect to have 5 years of trouble-free motoring.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so you're the Topshop legend.
Yeah, so I started there as just a sales assistant.
Was that in Tower Ramparts at the time?
It certainly was.
Oh, it was upstairs, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, the top man was upstairs. Topshop was downstairs. It was the era where we sold... What did David Beckham had, like sarongs?
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember when he wore a sarong. So we were selling those up in Top Man and Topshop. It was like iconic in those days. It was, which I hear it's just come back to the high street last week. So
I remember Ali G when he interviewed David Beckham.
Oh, did he?
And he did a thing on that, and he said, "Oh yeah, what was that thing you were wearing? That dressing?" He went, "Sarong." He went, "I know it was, but what was the name of it?"
It really was so wrong. We sold loads of them. Honestly, he was such a fashion icon.
Yeah.
But and I had a great time in retail. Philip Green owned Arcadia at the time. And I know there's some...
And was loving the pensions.
Yeah. At the time, I know there's a lot of negative press and, maybe he wasn't a great boss, but I can tell you at the time we were living the dream, going off to London, seeing all the Kate Moss on the catwalk, seeing the new launches. He'd put us all up in hotels, free bar.
Wow.
He really did. But, in hindsight, that sounds terrible because maybe he was spending the pension money.
And there's a load of senior executives going, this is really generous. It's like, you're paying for this.
You're paying for it. Yeah.
Which was my pension as well, which I have lost quite a bit of money on that. So I do feel for people.
Other Topshop employees, by the way, very grateful for those trips. Thanks, Mel.
Yes, exactly. So, that was a retail career right up until I was in my 30s.
Okay.
And then
did you progress to store manager?
I did, yes. I was manager of all his brands, Top Man, Topshop. God, I can't even remember them all now.
So there was the drive to go, I want to keep progressing and keep progressing. It wasn't like, I'm happy to be a Saturday girl glorified for 15 years.
No, I did have a lot of to be honest, I didn't actually have a lot of ambition, but I kept getting promoted at the time. And I think it's just because I was willing and I had a lot of flair for it. And yeah, I never really planned it, but it went really, really well.
Mm-hmm.
I was manager of Topshop in Ipswich. I was manager of Dorothy Perkins in Ipswich, and also in Felixstowe, Bury St Edmunds.
Wow.
So it went really, really well. And then I fell out of love with it because they used to get us to sell store cards. And that was a stress.
Was it like, I'm guessing it was like targets that you had to hit?
35 a week.
Wow.
With PPI. PPI was the thing. And yeah, now lots of people got quite a lot of rebate from PPI.
Have they gone after? Because you hear it all the time with like loans and credit cards and stuff.
Yeah.
Not, oh yeah, by the way, anyone who went to Topshop.
If you had a
by the way,
card.
Dorothy Perkins or Topshop, if you drop me your details, I'll connect you up with someone. It only costs you 35%.
But I cannot tell you what pressure they used to put you on. And I was actually quite good at it. So they then made me area manager for store cards.
Oh.
So I was responsible for all of the stores hitting their targets.
So literally you would just go store to store to store to motivate everyone to sell PPI store cards.
And then I felt guilty about it for years because obviously PPI is supposed to be so bad. But then I realised I did everyone a favour because people started getting thousands of pounds of refunds.
Yeah.
But I never had PPI on anything. I was like, oh no. So yeah, there was just a lot of pressure. Retail changed. We used to have just a couple of sales a year, the New Year's sales, summer sale. And then it was happening all of the time and staffing was short and it just became a nightmare. So fell out of love with that. And then I fell into a career that I never planned, which was I got married and I started going to wedding shows around Ipswich, but they were all small little wedding shows. And I thought, imagine if I could make a really big, amazing wedding show, a bit like the ones you get in London or the big cities, but in Ipswich. Yeah. So I started something called the Suffolk Wedding Show, which is still going 20 years later.
Wow.
I've been to that.
Yeah, that's
wow.
me. And one of my exhibitors was Ufford Park. And the owner at the time said to me, I've got a vacancy for an events manager. Do you know anyone? And I said, I'll do it.
Yeah.
No experience whatsoever other than the Suffolk Wedding Show. And she gave me the job.
Wow.
And yeah, I was there for Ufford Park, Woodbridge, as their events manager for 3 years. Then I moved on to Wivenhoe House, which is...
That's over by Colchester, isn't it?
Yeah, an amazing...
I think I've been there for a wedding.
Yeah.
It's like they don't have like loads and loads of rooms, do they?
No, it's only 40 rooms. It's situated on the Essex University campus.
Yes, I've been there.
Yeah, luxury
I went there for a wedding
hotel.
last year, I think.
Ah.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, so I thought, that came up and I thought, do I really want to travel to Colchester every day? But I was going to go there for about 2 or 3 years and I ended up being there for 10 years.
Oh, God.
It was such a lovely place to work and it's a hotel school as well.
Okay.
So if students want to learn the hotel management, they go do all their theory on Essex University campus and then go to the hotel for the experience.
Wow.
Yeah.
Does that mean your staffing costs are really low or like just your errors?
Well, you'd think so, wouldn't you? But no, because...
They didn't negotiate them very well,
Not really. We didn't actually pay the students. The random thing is they pay you to be a student and then they come and work for the hotel for free. But the experience and the step up the ladder they get is unbelievable.
I guess they then got experience in all different departments.
Yeah.
And they get to practice like dyeing people's eyebrows and stuff. Yeah.
Yes. And they come out at level of deputy manager. So a lot of them go into the top hotels in London.
Wow.
So even though, yes, they don't get paid, it's
Is
amazing.
it like well known that that's the university to go if you want to get into like hotel and hospitality?
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
A lot of them become hotel managers for Hilton or Milsom's take on a lot of students.
So it's been like the events manager. Did you have a lot of influence on
Well, I was
helping them
actually
grow?
business development manager there. So
Okay.
I was in charge of the events team, the marketing team. I was like third in line in the hotel at the time. It's a very random position actually because I sort of did probably a lot more than what most business development managers
So you were
would do.
ultimately probably running the place, barring one person.
There was the manager, the deputy, then there was me. But do you know what? Everyone pulled together. Okay. We helped the business grow. It was a great time. It was a great time.
Okay, so how did it compare to Ufford? I know I probably shouldn't say this because you're going to say something bad about someone.
No. Very different.
Because obviously 3 years at Ufford and then planned to be 3 years at Wivenhoe but do 10.
Yeah.
So Wivenhoe must have been good.
Yes.
And Ufford must have been...
No, Ufford was good, but I was events manager there. So I looked after the event side. I wasn't necessarily business development.
Okay. So you could get your teeth into
more. I could really get my teeth.
Did it fall into your lap or did you go out looking for it?
I saw it come up.
Okay.
And I really liked the concept of the hotel and what it stood for. And to be honest, it needed a lot of work so I could really make a difference. Ufford Park, we'd sort of got it where it needed to be. But yeah Wivenhoe House needed a lot of work.
Like a project.
Yeah. So we took that from like just over £1 million to nearly £4 million. Wow. So there was a lot of work to do. And it and you can shine when there is work to do, can't you?
Yeah.
So
I found that. I mean, I had the same thing when I worked for a big PLC, and it didn't matter. You could go out and do, you'd go and do £100,000 worth of business in a day.
Yeah.
And feel like the greatest person in the world, and go in and go, oh yeah, there we go. This is what we've done. And they go, yeah, great. Put it on the bottom of the pile. We don't really care. You just go, it doesn't matter what I do. It's a PLC. It's never going to make any difference.
I know. I can remember my boss saying to me, he took me networking once and he said, this is Mel. She makes me look good, because obviously anything I did was making it really, really grow. So yeah, that was nice to hear that.
And what was this story about you in the boardroom?
Yeah.
Gem, you know when she said, don't bring that up? And you just wait till we go live to do it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So no, I don't know if it's even going to sound that funny now, and I think it's one of those stories where you have to be there. I mean, we'll touch on this later, but I'd been there 10 years. When I first got there, I was in my early 40s, and then towards the late 40s, I started going through menopause and menopause brain. And I can remember walking into a room and we were around this board table, and my boss just tapped the table as if to say, come and sit here, because there was one spare seat. And for some reason, I just got on the table. I don't know why. My brain was just like, and sort of like a model. I just sat there, and because we had a photographer in that day, and he said, he's like, Mel, what are you doing? I said, well, you tapped the no, he said the seat next to the table. And oh my God, I was just so humiliated. And I kept thinking, why did I even do that?
That is brilliant.
That's so good.
And that story followed me around for quite a while.
Right, hang on.
Whenever I see you now, and we're at an event and I'm sitting down, you're not going to be tapping the
Jam, right, all listeners, just so we know, if you see Mel at any event, make sure you offer her the space next to you by tapping the table, please.
That is incredible.
Yeah, guess what?
Yeah.
That's gonna carry with you even further now, I think.
Yeah,
it's one of those things where you do the action and think, what? Why did I even interpret? Why?
That still haunts me to this day. But that's sort of just one example of what menopause brain can do for you. So yeah, that was that.
And here's us going.
I'm glad I know we shouldn't be laughing, but
I was wondering if you're going to laugh, because sometimes scenarios you have to be there. But yeah,
absolutely.
I see you can visualize it.
No, that one's
visualize
it literally is. You're kind of going. Yeah, at which point did you think you'd kind of like gone on to OnlyFans or something where you just like hoik yourself up on the table and go, what are you doing?
I did sort of lean back as well.
With that like casual approach.
A really sexy stance.
Oh, goodness.
Get over here, Mel. I've lost it.
I don't know where to go from there.
And my boss, I think what made it more funny is my boss, Oliver. He was an amazing boss, but he's from like some of the top Hilton Park Lane and all of this. He's very well spoken and everything, and he was just like, oh no. Oh no.
And it's full professionalism. It's not like, sorry, Mel, at which point did this become bow chicka wow wow? But
yeah, there was a lot of scenarios.
She slides herself back off the table into the
There's
chair.
a lot of scenarios like that. They used to call them Melissa-isms. And when he first met me, I don't think he was sure. But do you know what? I think I definitely brought him down to earth.
He understood there's another side of life than Park Lane, right?
Yeah. That's brilliant.
Okay, so 10 years at Wivenhoe.
Yes.
Where do we go from Wivenhoe?
Yeah. So I know this podcast, we need lots of laughter, and hope we've had a little bit up until now. But it did take a little bit of a darker turn for me in the last sort of year.
But I think for us, for on this podcast, I think when we started off, it was very much we'll find all the lighter side and all the funny side.
Yeah.
But it's actually become more about the real side.
The real side of business. Yeah.
It's just by the time we realised that we'd done 3 episodes and made a logo and stuff and created and named it. We're like,
the name now.
Just stick with it. It's fine. We'll find a fun in it somewhere. But yeah.
Yeah. So basically, what happened was we went through COVID, obviously, and as senior management at the hotel, everyone went on furlough apart from myself, the manager, the deputy, and a couple of other people at the hotel. And my boss was very keen that the hotel was looked after 24/7, basically, because a lot of properties went into rack and ruin, if you just left it there. So we were literally tied to the hotel for a year, 24/7, staying
Did you kind of go lockdown? Like that was your circle or whatever it was?
Yes, yeah. So we used to do 24-hour shifts at the hotel and everything. My team was dispersed. So you went on furlough, so I had to look after the whole events department and marketing department as well. And you may think that there wouldn't be a lot of work to do in COVID, but unfortunately, weddings were cancelled. Then we had...
You've still got all the admin. And,
we had the wakes, all this sort of thing. And I was doing that all on my own. I think I changed people's weddings about 3 or 4 times with the dates kept getting moved back.
Yeah. And where it started off with, where it was 6 and then it was 25 and
Yeah, and bearing in mind we were doing 50 odd weddings a year. We were doing over £1.5 million £1 million in events itself, and that was down to me.
Wow.
And at the same time...
Now I understand why your boss is like, I think it should be done. And you think, well, for security purposes, no, for the £1 million you're going to bring in. Yeah.
And then throughout all that, I started feeling so anxious, like I couldn't sleep. I just had all this brain fog and I just didn't feel like myself at all. And I almost felt like I just couldn't cope and I didn't know what was going on. And then one day we had a board call. I think it was via Zoom. And my boss said to me, right, Mel, tell us what's been happening. How's the figures looking? How are we managing things? And I just couldn't even remember who I was, what I was talking about, what we'd done or anything. And I just sort of froze, which has never happened to me because I can talk. And my boss sort of come in and sort of rescued me. And from that moment on, I just never felt the same. My confidence went down and I just didn't know what was going on. And then I started getting social anxiety when I did meet people. And then one day I was at home and I had a hot flush and then I realised it was menopause. But, in my head I was still 20, what? Hot flush, that's all you know about menopause.
Of course, yeah.
And I just never felt the same. And all I wanted to do was retire. I just wanted to get out of work. I couldn't cope with anything. Everything was just too much.
And it's a complete contrast to your actual character.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, you think about it. Even when you go all the way back to 16, 17, even though the hairdressing skill maybe was slightly subpar, but that job is very social.
Yeah.
Being on a market is very social. Yep. Retail, very social. Hotel, events, entertainment. Everything.
Every career you've had is
outgoing, social.
And suddenly I wasn't.
Yeah.
And, they always used to, if there was an awkward customer, they always sent me out because I could talk them through. They're like, how do you do that? And in the end, I just couldn't even tolerate customers. They used to agitate me.
I find that with people in general.
So that's Nick's life all the time.
So then they started not sending me out because they knew it would escalate. And I'm just like, this is just not right. And all I wanted to do was escape. So when the lockdown was lifted, I said to my husband, I need to go. I need time off. I spoke to my boss. And he said, okay, we'll give you some time off. You've worked all through lockdown. We booked our flights. We were going to go out to Greece. I hired a villa just to go and try and find myself again. And that was all arranged. And then lockdown happened again. And I just didn't know, where do I go from here? I'm lost. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So that's when I started researching what vitamins, minerals, natural things can help me bring myself back again.
Mm-hmm.
And that is how I created the Menopause Vitamin Company. I found what worked.
Yeah.
But it was all like not made in the UK, or I had to buy 100 different bottles of whatever, and it wasn't exactly what I wanted. So one day I said to my husband, I wonder if I could make my own supplement.
Had you been, before you started researching into that, had you been to and from doctors or kind of seeked?
Well, I had spoke to a menopause practitioner who was absolutely amazing, and she put me on HRT. That helped with the hot flushes.
Yeah.
And it helped with a few other things, but I still didn't feel like my hair was different. My skin was
just
different.
Didn't feel
my
like
nails
you.
still didn't feel like me. But then I did notice that certain things like ashwagandha really helped with my anxiety. Mm-hmm. Hyaluronic acid really helped with my skin. Biotin for my hair. But I was buying it in all different formulations and bulk and poor quality. So I'd come up with this amazing formula that worked, but it wasn't available as a product. So I created it along with a UK nutritionist.
So is your product, is it a, and please excuse my naivety about this,
that's all right.
Whatever. Is this like a one size fits all?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So it's all the dosages are what we need for our, nutritional intake per day. Everything is what you need. The only other thing you can add to this supplement is like an omega-3 or fish oil or something like that, just because you can't mix oil in with the powder form that I have. And you know what? So I launched it and it was such a success. Everyone loved it, repeat orders. So one day I sat at my desk and I thought to myself, do you know what, Mel? This is now or never. I was 51 years old. I was earning a good salary, great bonus, security, university pension and everything. And I thought, if I don't take this leap now,
I never will.
I never will. So I remember just opening my computer, typing up a resignation letter, signing it, going in and seeing my boss. No, actually, just before that, someone else had left and he'd done a little celebration with some Bucks Fizz and everything. And that is really what spurred me. I went back to my desk 5 minutes later, wrote the resignation letter up. I went into him and I said...
Please tell me you sat on his desk first.
No.
Okay.
I said...
Sat on his lap.
Do you know what? That would have been such a good idea.
That would have been a great final.
So I handed him the letter and I said, I think you need to put some more Bucks Fizz on ice because I'm leaving. Oh. And he was so shocked. I'm not sure if he might have been a little bit glad because, as I told you, I'd changed so much. And I reckon he actually thought, thank God for that. I know he really loved me as a person, but yeah, my days of business development and that had suffered.
And ultimately, if you've spent 10 years in it, you're so influential in that business.
Yes.
And so because you've been in that position, systems and things will have changed around you.
Definitely.
Which means when you've got Mel the powerhouse, admittedly boardroom sitting, but still the powerhouse, and then this Mel appears as different.
Yes.
It's like, well, hang on, do we rewrite everything? Is she going to, is this like a 6-month blip? Is she going to get better? Is she going to go back to old Mel? Do we have to rearrange everything? Do you know what I mean? And so I guess it's probably from his point of view, at least, to say there's a solution.
From I'm just curious from an employer point of view.
Yeah.
Did you speak to them about the menopause? Were they open to understanding what the issue was?
Really, do you know what? In all fairness to them, I don't think I ever really went and said,
I think I'm going
I'm going through this or whatever. And most of it, I presume a lot of it was my own self-confidence and everything. I'm not sure he noticed as much as I noticed myself because I had a really strong team around me.
Yeah.
But I was letting my team down. They were having to find
work a little bit harder to cover up.
To cover up. And I knew that, and that's not fair. But on the plus side, I'd trained them in absolutely everything. So when I left, they could just step in. But it did make me realise that now, if maybe he would have known about it or they had systems in place, which they didn't in them days,
no,
a lot more businesses do now, would I have stayed? But then I look at it, I'd never have this
But you wouldn't
business
have what
now,
you've got
so
now.
I have absolutely zero regrets and don't blame them for anything.
But I think when you kind of hear that story, it explains to me why people are so drawn to you and your story and, you know, you as being influential.
Yes.
Because you've got someone who literally has almost gone from night to day.
Yes.
You know, everything about your social outgoing has flipped on its head.
Yeah.
Everything's flipped.
Yeah.
And it's almost well, if this can do this for Mel, you've kind of obviously got the magic pill for everyone. Yeah.
And Nick, also, I sort of something I wanted to say today, you know, there might be men listening right now who think, oh, not the menopause again, or I've got no interest in menopause.
Can I just point out, as a man who's approaching 50, my wife is in her 40s, this is going to happen. Yeah. You've just told me there's a magic pill. Yeah. Honestly, I'm getting ready to subscribe. The moment I notice any difference, it's like, sign me up, subscription.
I'll give you a discount.
Sorry. Hang on. Yeah. All these mood swings and everything is going to vanish with a magic pill.
Exactly.
Every man should be listening to this.
I mean, I guess what I wanted to say is every man's going to have a wife. Well, not every man, but, you know, some men will have a wife, some will have a daughter, an aunt, a grandmother that will all go through. 50% of us will go through menopause, you know. Or even if you're in same-sex couples, you know, woman on woman, that's even another level altogether when two women are going through menopause. And it's just so nice to educate yourself a little bit. You know, in 10 minutes, you can educate yourself. But honestly,
so much. I mean, I live for a quiet life, and I live for a quiet life, and the best way to do it is to best understand her.
Exactly.
So, you know, I mean, we had this funny conversation the other day where I was saying, you know, she said, look, she sent me like a meme on like, you know, just because I bring you a problem doesn't mean I want a solution.
And I'm just want to listen to them.
And I'm like, honestly, look, we've had this conversation. If you bring a problem to me, I'm going to solve it. If you just want empathy, you've got all your friends. Just do that. But I think understanding one another makes it much easier. So for me, I think, you know, when these changes do happen and when you do see these things, you know, ultimately we want the solution.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mel.
Yeah.
This is why every man should listen to this.
I mean,
this
what
podcast.
I will say is actually when I do my talks on menopause, I actually bought myself a little magic wand at an event the other day. And I said, you know, there is no magic wand. There's a lot of supplement companies out there that will say, take this supplement and all your problems will be over. Unfortunately, that's not true. It's just part of...
It's only your one, right?
Yeah, only mine.
Only Mel.
No, but it's only part of the solution. So I want to... And that's why, you know, I'm not a millionaire yet. A lot of these supplement companies are millionaires because they say, this supplement will cure your hot flushes. It will repair your marriage. It will do all these things. Come on, ladies, we're intelligent enough to know that that's not what's going to happen.
Yeah, but after 4 years, they don't have to worry about the claims because they've taken your money and they're gone.
Exactly, and then they're gone. And I've seen them. I mean, mine was actually one of the very first menopause supplements out there. And now sometimes people will say, oh, people just say it's for the menopause, and you know there's all these names out there for it now that are taking advantage of women. But mine was called the Menopause Vitamin Company because I wanted to connect with the ladies that were going through menopause.
In this day and age as well, it's so important because I can speak. Obviously, I'm around a lot of women approaching that age, been through that age. I'm going to be there at some point, and it's so important now to have something other than having to go on medication.
Yes.
So many women or people in general don't want to keep going down the medication route.
Yeah. And
they want to find something natural, something they can supplement instead of having to be put on another tablet for something else.
There's a lot that vitamins and minerals and everything can do. The only thing I've struggled to find to cure something naturally is hot flushes, or some women get cold flushes. That is really difficult to control with just vitamins and minerals. So HRT is fantastic for that, or there is non-hormonal medication that's really good for that.
Yeah.
So and there's a lot of supplement companies, if they tell you it cures hot flushes or makes you lose weight, those two are the things that they will hone in on to try and take your money. And I can promise you those two things will not be cured by a supplement. Definitely not.
Can you come out with the next tablet, like the one after?
What
No, the one. So I mean, this is the thing. So, despite popular belief, I actually really care about the people I work with.
That's good.
One of them happens to be my wife, so I have to. Yeah, I'm sure I did that in my vows. I must care for her forever. It's like, but I work with 3 women in their 40s.
Yep.
What have you got anything that like mellows me out or is going to let me be able to cope if I have 3 women going through menopause
I think,
I have to work with?
I think, Nick, this is what's so important and why I wanted to come on here as well, is that it's just about you recognizing that there's a bit of a change as well and how to deal with it. Because years ago, if you saw someone having a hot flush, oh, they're going through menopause. But when you've known women that are usually quite calm and collected, and then you suddenly notice that they're getting a bit more irritated, or maybe they're taking a little bit longer to do their job, maybe having a sick day more than they normally do. It's just seeing those subtle signs, because I promise you, no woman is going to come into you, Nick, and go, excuse me, I'm having menopause problems. But what they'll actually be saying is, oh my God, I've lost confidence in my job. What if Nick thinks that I'm not working quick enough? Oh my God, I'm just so hot in this office, but I can't say anything to anyone. And it turns into this turmoil of just guilt. And yeah, it's a horrible, horrible feeling. And I think it's so important for bosses to understand teenagers. We accept that they're going to be grumpy when they get 13, 14, 15. We give them space. We give them a bit of a leash, you know. But women, when they're going through that, is similar, if not worse. And we don't give them any grace at all. Or they don't give themselves grace. That's the problem. Yeah. And a lot of businesses, from what I've heard, is they don't want people like me coming in, because I'm also a menopause wellness practitioner, because they think, oh, it's going to disrupt my business. Oh, it's just too much hassle.
I think raise awareness and creating a safe space.
Yeah.
Where women feel...
I think we're lucky, and you know, Jem is going to either pull faces, so I'm not even going to look at her. So she pull faces, and Mel can kind of read from Jem, going, is he actually this full of shit, or is this true? But the way that we have always been, or I have always been, probably for the last 15, 20 years, is sometimes we'll have that concept, or I'll have that concept of going, it's just business. It doesn't matter that much. And I know there's people who are entrepreneurs that go, oh my God, I live for my business. And, you know, I've spent 16-hour, 18-hour, 20-hour days. I've had sleepless nights. I've had all sorts going through with a business. But if we have a member of staff where you go, do you know what? You've had a loss in the family, or you've had whatever it may be, that people need time to grieve. We're actually the ones that will, I'm the person that will send them home.
That's
to
amazing.
Go, just take the time. There's no rush to come back, because this is life. This is this is real stuff. Look, honestly, a tax return is a tax return. It's going to get done. We'll find a way. It doesn't matter. Or do you know what? I'll work the weekend. I don't care. I'll do your work for you. Just take the time you need.
Yeah.
And so I personally, and again, I don't know, because having not been, and I think that there's an element of, you know, and by the way, all women, please don't hate me, but there's going to be an element of, if women in my life are going through this, they're going through 98% of it. I'm going to get 2%. But my 2% is to understand, to acknowledge, and to support where I can.
But it's so refreshing to hear that, because there's so many bosses.
Jem's going to go, I'd wait till I tell you afterwards what it's really like. But
that's so refreshing. And, you know, a lot of bosses, unfortunately, aren't like that. And it's also with grief, someone's died, you know that that's what they're going through. With menopause, you often they don't even know. Perimenopause starts 10 years before your last, period. Yeah. You don't even realise that the things you're feeling is that.
Yeah.
And then it's the pressure then women we put on ourselves.
Yeah.
Because we then try and question or work out or understand, why are we not doing this today? Yeah. Why has this changed? Why am I feeling like this? We always want to we always need a reason, don't we?
Exactly. And the confidence thing was the worst, I think, suddenly losing your confidence, because if you don't have confidence, it's so hard to do
I think
things.
That's the bit that has probably hit me the hardest from you talking about it.
Yeah.
That it, when you go and think and you go, it's the thing you were known for.
Yeah.
It's the thing you've built your entire career around.
Yeah.
Being outward, being a people person, being that, and losing that, it would be, probably no different than David Beckham not working out how to kick a football anymore.
And
it's what he's known for, and that's his life.
Yeah, and you know how important that is, because I know with yourself, both of you, you're very much out there, networking with people, often accountants, no disrespect, are known as a bit boring. You two are not that.
Thank you.
That's exactly.
We've done our job.
Yeah, there we go. Done. You can go now, Mel.
High five, yeah, thanks, Mel.
It's about building relationships, isn't
but to me, for example, it would be like, because again, Jem will tell you this, is as much as I might blag being outward, I'm not the most people person in the world. But to me, it would be like, suddenly I can't do maths anymore.
Yeah.
Mental arithmetic gone, or my logical part of my brain gone. It's what I've had all my life, and suddenly it's gone, and there's no fix.
No.
And you just think that's my career.
Well,
that I've just done everything on.
The great thing is there is a fix.
Your tablet.
Yeah. Well, no.
A magic pill.
I mean, I retrained as a menopause wellness practitioner after I left work and after I created the supplement, because I was a bit like you. I know with yourselves, you do consultancy now, don't you? Because a lot of people asked about that, and that's what I was having. So I was having women cry to me. They understood my story, and I felt I needed to do a proper qualification in it to be able to authentically give them the proper information, the guidance. Yeah. I knew so much about menopause and I felt like a doctor, but I didn't have, and it's not a clinical qualification, but now I can give people that extra support as well. And honestly, I've never felt better than I do now. And I'm 54 years old, coming up for 55. And if someone would have said I could feel like this again at the age of 49 when it all started, I would have never believed them. It is.
Can I say I understand?
You're now on podcasts, behind microphones. I've seen you at networking events. I've seen you stand up and talk in front of hundreds of people.
Now I understand why everyone says Mel's such an inspiration.
I told you.
She really is.
Oh, bless you. Thank you. But
Would you?
I'm not sure about you. Never believe that in yourself, do you? But
Mel, can you believe this though? Jem said, "Oh yeah, guess what we've got on? Oh yeah, Mel, she's going to come and talk about menopause."
And I bet you're like, "Oh,
brilliant!
God.
Can't wait. Let's sit in the chair for an hour."
He was like, "Okay, Jem, this one's for you to take. I'll just sit there."
Oh.
Yeah. But he's found it. You can see he's found it really interesting.
But I'll tell you what else. There is also the menopause. Have we heard about this? So a lot of men don't realise it's actually called andropause.
Okay.
So your hormones actually drop down as well.
Okay.
But it's a lot more gradual. But some sort of things to look out for is, suddenly you want to get a motorbike or a
hang on a second.
or a really fast car.
You just called midlife crisis, right?
But it's actually andropause. So, a sports car.
Yeah, that's fine. So there's a medical term for midlife crisis.
No. But, it'll be things like where you'll feel a little bit more tired. Maybe you're not as focused. Maybe you're not as driven. Your muscle mass starts to go.
But everything is always told. And, and again, it's actually one of those things that I'm quite passionate about. And I became quite passionate about it when I heard, number one cause of death in men under 40, suicide.
Yeah.
And I went, okay. And because I was in that generation that had if there's something wrong, just man up and get on with it.
Yeah.
And, I think having seen that and sort of having my eyes open to it, I think it's actually been really nice to just kind of try and open up to people and, and to also make yourself open to others. Because I think when people can see someone else doing it, they go, yeah, it's okay, it's acceptable.
Yeah. So would you say, have you noticed any difference as you've aged in terms of energy levels and that, or are you still feeling, on fire?
Still happy. Yeah.
That's good.
I think I always say to people that there's things in life that I've been kind of almost in my DNA and been born with that I'm really grateful for. Yeah. One was intelligence, which sometimes I feel guilty because I didn't really work at school. I could just get it.
Yeah.
And the other one is that my family, all the way through from mum, grandparents, all the way down, everyone in my family is depressive.
Yeah.
So they all will find the worst in everything. And it's almost like if you could find the best or the worst, they've taken all the worst.
Yeah.
And I'm the one who's got the best. So mum always kind of goes, I don't even know if you're related to our family because everyone else is like, oh yeah, woe is me. And honestly, if someone turned around to me and said, by the way, Nick, you need a leg amputated, I'd call myself 50% off socks. I'd be happy that socks are going to be cheaper now.
Do you know, that's such a great quality, and sometimes when this negativity is in families, it can pass on to the next generation. So it's so good that you've got that, and hopefully
the only way it really impacts me massively is if I spend too long around
people.
Sad people.
Yeah.
Because then I become a bit more of a product of my surroundings. So I always try and surround myself with positive people.
Yeah.
And that was a lot of the reason where, when RS said went from version 1 to version 2, the first thing I did is I surrounded myself with Jem and Natasha as fellow directors to say, guess what? Am I going and finding the absolute tip-top best business people on the planet?
Yeah.
Other than obviously Jem.
Obviously. I wonder where you were going with that.
No, that wasn't the plan. But it was surround myself with the people I want to go on this journey with that are positive, upbeat, and we'll celebrate together. Because if you have people to celebrate with, every celebration is twice as good.
Yeah, because they say who you sort of surround yourself with is ultimately how you become.
Yeah.
And that can be difficult. Any entrepreneurs that might be listening out there, or solo people like me, that's quite tough sometimes, because you don't necessarily always have a team around you.
I think the thing that people fall into accidentally, and it's why there's a lot of people who get ripped off, where you have business coaches.
Yes.
And they go, oh yeah, it's great, it's wonderful. And it's like, no, half the time they're not great, they're not wonderful. But you need that person to bounce ideas off.
Yeah.
And I think that, if anyone ever could find, if you're in business and you think, I feel very lonely, find that person.
Yeah.
That person doesn't have to be a business coach. Say some of your ideas out loud.
Yeah.
Just find someone who will, your wife is probably going to be the worst.
Yeah.
Your family is going to be bad.
Yeah.
Find someone who will be honest with you.
Yes.
Because if someone goes and takes one of your ideas and says, this is shit, if you can't convince them otherwise, it's probably because it's shit.
Yes.
But if you can convince them, suddenly all of your darkest fears go away, because you go, I know I'm onto something, because my biggest critic can't fault it.
I've been so lucky. Everyone has been so receptive to my business and what I'm doing. And I think it has given some people inspiration, especially if they're in their 50s.
I think if you were sitting there as 25, 30 years old and a bloke and going, I was great at science and so I made this, I'd look at it as a money spinner.
Yeah. You've lived through
you're
it.
providing a solution because you're solving the problem that you had.
Yes.
You've lived through it and come out the other side.
Yeah. But it is getting more difficult because, as I say, there's a lot of narrative out there at the moment that people are just taking advantage of menopausal women. And that was never, ever my thing. Mine was about this can help.
Yeah.
And there's big companies out there. I won't name names, but
everyone's going to, because they'll just say it as a money spinner.
Yeah. There's a company out there that's selling their supplement for £55 a bottle. I know how much the ingredients cost. I know exactly what's in their supplement. It doesn't even have any vitamins and minerals in it, which are the things that work. And there's two guys in their 30s running the business from a marketing and sales background. But, I'm a small brand. It's so frustrating. But
so with Christmas coming up, where are you? Are you out and about? Are you
I go and promote what I do at Christmas markets, believe it or not.
Amazing.
It's not your usual gift that you buy at these Christmas markets, but what I found was a lot of women won't go and actually seek support. But if I happen to be there while they're shopping for all their gifts, then they come and speak, and they're so receptive. Yeah. And I always have to have a box of tissues on my stand, because even they just want to talk to you. That's all they want to do. And when you let them know that they're not going mad, it's so emotional.
People know when they're not on their own.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
With all the stuff that's in your magic pill.
Yes. Stop saying that.
All right. No, it's just
my
amazing.
wonderful nutritional
Your wonderful
supplement.
nutritional supplement.
Yeah.
Hashtag magic pill. If someone took it and they were perimenopausal or premenopausal, is there going to give them, so let's say, and again, I work with weird concept in my head.
Yeah.
So let's say they go through menopause, something that should be at 100% that would naturally happen at 100% is now at 20%, which is why it's impacting them.
Yep.
Your magic pill supplement nutritional thing adds 100%. So whether they're at 20%, it puts them to 120. If they're at 0%, it puts them to 100, whatever.
Yeah. So my supplement,
if someone was already at 100%, is taking that extra 100% going to cause any damage?
Not necessarily. A lot of B vitamins, so your B12, B6, all of that, I think there's 8 or 9 of those. They're what we call water soluble.
Yep.
So if your body's sort of absorbed the maximum that it needs, then it will just extract out into your urine. There is fat soluble ones like vitamin D and stuff like that. But the dose is not so high that it's going to cause you any problems.
So would you recommend
anyway.
that every woman from age 40, 45 should probably be taking this anyway?
Well, do you know what? I honestly do. And a lot of people will say to me, especially sort of certain nutritionists or whatever, they're like, oh, you can just get everything if you have a healthy diet. But how many of us actually eat 5 portions of fruit and vegetables?
I know that then went to 7, that then went to 9.
Yeah, and then, So, and also our gut microbiome changes as well. So we don't absorb everything like we should. So it's just that little safety blanket.
Yeah, but I don't think anyone does, because if there was, there was no probiotic.
If someone can start taking it now, even if they don't necessarily need it now, is it going to cause any damage?
I even have ladies, because I've had ladies buy it and then they give it to their husband and then they give it to their daughter. And people will say, well, surely it's a menopause supplement, but there's no hormones in it. It's vitamins, minerals and botanicals. Yeah. It's pure, it's clean, it's made in the UK. The only reason why I didn't make it a general supplement is my forte was the menopause.
It's what helped you.
Yeah. The only thing menopausal women could do is maybe up their magnesium even a bit more, so they could take an additional magnesium with that. But yeah, it's for anyone sort of over 18. But
Doris's Christmas present.
I would suggest.
I know that's what you're thinking.
I would suggest anyone over 35 really to start taking it.
There you go.
Protect your bones.
I've got my own Christmas present sorted.
Sorted.
Yeah.
Have you not got to buy me one?
I could.
Don't you buy me a Christmas present?
What do you mean? Eric is the one who lives with you. He can buy them for you for Christmas.
So yeah, loads of people buy it as presents at these Christmas markets as well, and say,
how do you deal with it? How will you deal with it if when a bloke gets in trouble for doing this?
Rarely get in trouble, to be fair.
Because I feel like I could get in trouble for this.
Really?
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, by the way, Mel said here's a magic pill, it makes you better, and you're going to be nicer to me.
Or maybe don't word it like that.
All right, baby.
Yeah.
And stop using the term magic pill.
Stop using the term magic pill.
I mean, that, I guess, I know we're doing that as a laugh, but it's one thing I really don't want to be promoting, because that's what all the other companies are doing that really annoys me.
I think at the end of the day, you know, to kind of go and have that cure-all, you know, you've been very, very honest about it, to say, look, hot flushes, that's going to need an HRT or, you know, something else or whatever.
I'm so impressed with you, Nick.
Honestly, I feel I've got the lot. So I think that when you kind of go, look, it's not going to do that, it's not going to do that, it's not going to do that.
Yeah.
You know, if your weight balloons or goes up or goes down or whatever as you're going through menopause, your
a tablet is nutritional
supplement is not going to change this.
But what it will do is it will give you
But it does go along and just rebalance everything and to kind of help you out on
nutrients that we should be having anyway, isn't it?
Yeah. And to know that you can take 2 capsules a day, all of your nutrition's taken care of. You could add an omega-3, as I mentioned, or maybe a slightly additional magnesium.
Simply because I've got a question. Sorry,
you go with your question.
You've asked a question about if people could take it before they hit menopause.
Yes.
How about people that have been through menopause out the other side?
Carry on taking it,
Thank you. Another Christmas present sorted.
Okay, this is the one that we never do on the podcast, ever.
Yes.
I think you're guest number 1 to allow this happen.
Okay.
If someone wanted to buy it, how do they get hold of it? Because we never let anyone promote.
Oh, really?
Come on, go with it.
It's because we need to purchase it.
You will go on.
It saves we have to ask her afterwards.
It's the menopausevitamincompany.co.uk.
Yeah.
And if anyone is looking for some menopause support alongside that, it's menopausesupportsuffolk.co.uk.
But can they just find you on LinkedIn if they want to?
And they can find me at LinkedIn, Melissa. Dickinson.
Yes.
Well done.
I nearly said nicely, and I'm like, no, I know that's wrong.
You just remember the nice bit because she's so lovely.
Yeah, that's it.
So if you put me on the spot like that, my brain would go totally dead.
Do you know Gem's middle name? We told you at the beginning.
Gemma Addis.
Middle name.
Oh, did you?
Did we?
Nope. Anyway, there we go. Now, you know what it's like to try and think of a name as well.
You know, that is one good thing being through menopause. If I do forget what I'm saying, right, I just say, "I'm sorry, it's the menopause."
Did he give my middle name? Why would he give her my middle name?
There we go. Right.
God bless you.
Guess what? I think we're done.
We are. Mel, that was amazing.
Oh,
Mel, you've been an amazing guest. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Fun Side of Business podcasts, brought to you by NEIT for any of your IT requirements. Why not catch Nick and Gem on the Extra Slice, available to all our subscribers? Thanks for listening.